The Mark Dacey Show is brought to you over Broadband Box Office Network, produced at VK Media Studios, Pat Marucci, producer and director. We are archived on Facebook and iTunes, and live every third Wednesday of the month. Do network layering, Java encrypting, hypertext transfer protocol uplinking. We have a show. And I need a new life. That's right. Hey, welcome to the Mark Dacey Show. We're live. We're happening, fam. We're going places. We're doing things. Come along with us, won't you? For an hour of adventure and wonderment. And while we've got some time here, actually, we didn't start the show, or did we? I don't know. Here, listen. I just want to give you a couple of upfront public service announcements before we start. It turns out that aluminum chlorohydrate, scientific journals have proven now that aluminum chlorohydrate in your deodorant can affect your memory. So I hope I remember my stuff today. All the jokes and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so before we get started, I have a public service announcement. It's the latest scientific journals now are saying that aluminum chlorohydrate in your deodorant can affect your memory. So I hope that I remember some of my jokes today. That's all. So before we get started, latest scientific journal, I wanted to mention something about aluminum something. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, a little bit of also something, an apology I'd like to start out with first, and that is we started a little late today. That's because I got to the studio on time, but then I had to kind of groom up for the show. I had to kind of groom up a little bit. So, I went to the dressing room and I went in there and washed my hands, and I look up and the sign says, "Employees must wash hands before leaving." So I looked around. There were no employees. So here I don't want to break any rules, It's probably a state law for all I know. Maybe Governor Christie's going to come, "Excuse me, you didn't wash your hands with the state employees." And so I, want to make sure that I'm following the rules. So I don't know. I chased around a couple of interns until I convinced them that, they had to take the soap off my cuticles. It's going to dry it up by then. Employees must wash hands before leaving. I couldn't find any. I had to go outside, actually, and around the building, downstairs, and then through an elevator in order to... My name is Mark Dacey. Welcome to the show. I'll be your master of ceremonies, your bon vivant, your raconteur. In fact, I have a raconteur right now. It's a little piece of crystal. It's about that big. It's going to open up for Government Mule and I think Wilco in Detroit next week. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. I could be a little mistaken. I have been in the past. The last time I made a mistake was when I thought I made a mistake and I didn't. That's how often I don't make a mistake. I have no idea. This is just elongating the start of the show, isn't it? Or did it start yet? I don't know. What do you think, Don? Have we started the show?
I haven't heard anything.
No, I have no idea. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, Master of Ceremonies here. Actually, I'm not your Master of Ceremonies. I'm more like sort of like a journeyman of ceremonies. What are we on camera too now? We haven't even changed the page, and we're changing the cameras already. I'm actually not even a journeyman. I'm an apprentice of ceremonies, and to tell you the truth, there are no ceremonies, in fact, at all. If you see any ceremonies, please report to them to the producer as soon as you can. I just like doing that. I don't know. So in the spirit of the Titanic having been built by professionals and the Ark having been built by an amateur, I'm ready to get this show rolling. So let's begin. Have you heard about the new Tom Hanks movie? I love Tom Hanks. He's just so good. He's always on the money, always believable. I love him. He's got that face. He's got that character. He's in charge of his acting. He really takes the character. He knows what to do with it. He makes it believable. You don't think twice about watching Tom Hanks on the screen that he's anybody else but who he is. You don't think, oh, that's Tom Hanks acting. You just always believe that it's the character. Oh, anyway, so have you heard about the new Tom Hanks movie? It's called Captain Obama. Yeah, that's what it's called. And it's all about this guy who's guiding the ship through hostile waters. It's great. And the ship can remain economically vibrant if it can just like turn the corner. So it's just turning the economical corner when wham! Out of the blue comes a bunch of pirates led by their own guy who wants to be captain, Muammar Abdul Baner. Oh, yes. So he's the head of the captain. He's the captain of the pirates. So they commandeer the ship and they hold everybody hostage until they get what they want. Or they shut down the ship. It's crazy, isn't it? And the engines shut down eventually, and they have a tea party right on board there. But that could never happen in real life because that's a fantasy. And I can't tell you the ending, really, unless, of course, you're talking about the end of the Republican Party, because that's where they're headed with this thing. Oh, anyway. Terrorists. Right here, living among us. So, Monday night, the Terrorist Network TV lineup. Are you ready? Sure. The Monday Night Terrorist Network TV lineup. The Price is Right, if Assad says it is. The Damascus Hillbillies at 8 o'clock. 8:30, children are forbidden from saying the damnedest things, or the darndest things, the dumbest things, whatever it was. The Daily Show, on delay, about 10 years. Wheel of Terror at 10 o'clock. 10:30, Who Wants to Marry a Terrorist Millionaire? 10:30, or was that quarter of? I can't remember my numbers anymore. On the Cave and Garden Network, it's the Taliban's wackiest public executions, or elocutions, if you're watching the show. At 11, of course, it's the Monday Night Stoning. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, we have our own network here, don't we? Broadband network. And broadcast today. So we have our own network star. We do today. This is our first guest appearance on the Mark Dacey Show, and that of course is Ellen Macleay. Hi, Ellen. How you doing?
Fine. A great pleasure to see you.
Thank you for coming to my show today. I'm sorry I got here a little bit late. As I said, I was washing the hands. Couldn't find the state employees to help me. But thank you very much. You are a very talented pianist, and Ellen has been playing for many years, at least for the last 45 minutes when I heard you kind of tinkling around there. I know that you do some of my favorite composers' material, so I'd love for you to take over the show now and do. I understand you're going to try and mesmerize me. Well, you've already done that by playing this afternoon off camera. Now on camera with some Chopin, is that right? You can do some Chopin for me? Or us, I should say.
It is always a great pleasure.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was really, really pretty. I just texted my friends and told them about the out-of-tune piano. We're going to see if we can get somebody down right away. Even with an out-of-tune piano, it sounds magnificent.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ellen. We're going to have Ellen back later on in the show. I'm so excited about that. That is just beautiful. I love Chopin. So I texted all my friends, told them that your damn thing was out of tune. They better get somebody down here right away. I've got connection. I don't know where they are. They'll be here any minute. Hopefully by the time you're back on, they'll tune the piano again. I bought my mom a cell phone, by the way. Bought my mom a cell phone? I was worried about her driving. You know, she comes over to visit. She comes up the Parkway. She goes down the Parkway. But lately, it's a little bit, it's getting a little bit later at night. It's getting a little darker. So I got her the cell phone. I said, Mom, if you're in trouble, please call. So she leaves last week, and I said, keep your cell phone on. So she leaves, and I'm watching the traffic channel, and there's the helicopter shot, and they're saying that somebody's going the opposite way, the north on the southbound lane. So I called her up right away. I said, Mom, look out. There's somebody who's driving north on the southbound lane. Okay, be careful. And she goes, if there's one, there's 100 people. Well, at least she has the cell phone. I told her to pull over. I bought a new app for my phone. Yeah, it's a voice-activated station selector. It's really cool. I mean, what can I say? I whip it out. I say, play classical, and a classical playlist. WQXR comes up. I say, play some old Elvis. Old Elvis comes up. It's great. It's really great. Play the Beatles, whatever. It goes to a Beatles station, all Beatles all the time. Lady Gaga, all the Lady Gaga tunes. It's great. So I'm out there jogging the other day. I got like an all Steely Dan thing going on, and some other jogger obviously has the same thing. He bumps into me. I said, "Hey, you big stupid fat idiot! What are you doing?" And Rush Limbaugh came on. So it was like really, It's kind of funny how that. I can't get rid of the script. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, part of the show's scripted. What do you think? I just sit around here drinking coffee all day? Did we start yet? Are we? Is the show go? Well, I do that too. So I'm doing a show last week, and I can't get from the gate to the stage because there's too many people. So I get a police escort in front of me, and I'm driving very slowly, but the police are in front. They're breaking up the crowd. I'm kind of driving because there's no way to get to the stage with them. And there's like people with cell phones, and it's like kid after kid is like whamming, and he's like walking right up to my car and going, boom. I got police up there going, okay, we're on the side there, and could you please put? And there's like kids going, what? Boom, and they're like bonking into my, they're walking into my guy. Everybody's in the Facebook. Everybody's in the screen. Nobody looks at Edvard Munch. Nobody hears the scream. There's nobody people used to look at paintings. Previously, they would get, and you could not for a long time look at a painting, but you could if you wanted to, but not like all day long. Like in the old world, you couldn't take pictures of stuff. In the old, you had to paint it. You would paint it. It was the first, painting was the first iPhone, okay? For those of you who don't remember, yeah. Edvard Munch, of course, was the Scream. You don't remember the Scream. Well, some people do. So anyway, in the old days, if you saw something that was really cool, you couldn't go, look at that, and then, send it off to your grandfather in Cuba. No. What you'd have to do, you see a beautiful scene, oh my goodness, and then you'd bring your easel and your canvas and your brushes over, and then you kind of had to set up and wait for the light, and then begin to paint slowly, okay? And you got to wait for the light to just be right and stay there for like about a week and get it right. And then you cut your ear off and die and wait for 50 or 100 years to have somebody come over, look at Starry, Starry Night and go, that's really cool. Yep. What's over here? So, there's something to be said for Oh, well. Oh, which brings me to my first song. It's called Cellphone Blues. Well, it doesn't have to be called Cellphone Blues. After hearing it, you can call it anything you want. Yeah, baby. Whoops. Is that a call for me? With apologies to Billy Hector. Wait a minute. I got a guise for this, man. I got a guise. After all, it's almost Halloween. Yeah. Woo. All right. Oh. I'm looking for my cell phone, hard to find. Looking up and looking down hurts my mind. I hear it beep, it was on all night. And I also know it was out of sight. I couldn't find it. Oh, go, a beep, beep. Woo! Oh, go, beep, beep. Ow. I gotta have my cell, it's a funny thing. I feel so needed when I hear it ring. I crashed my car. The judge said, son, you can drive, you can phone, but you better pick one. Ah! Beep, beep. Woo! Go. Beep, beep. Yo. I bought a have a cell. I bought phone. Stop, wait a minute. I just wrote this line this morning, so I don't. All right, fine. I bought a cell at the Songville. It's alive. It's alive. I tell you, it's alive. Okay. I bought a cell at the cell phone store. 1,000 apps. I still want more. The judge didn't like it when I made a call. He gave me a fine, 10 days in the hall. Ow! Yeah. Go. Beep, beep. Go. So if you're thinking about communication, well, join the club is the rage of the nation. It's so cool, even the Pope has one. But watch yourself when you're walking toward a window that's open. Woo! Yeah, baby. Bye-bye. So long. Sayonara. Woo! Aloha, baby. Yeah. So long. See ya. Hope you have a nice trip. See you next fall. Ow! Yeah, baby. It's a cell phone thing. But look at that. It's just wonder. There used to be a guy in New York who had like a cabaret show or something. Really, he would have like ads in the mags, and he looked like this, which is not too far from the way I'm going to look after this show is done. I'll tell you. Brink! Anyway, hey! But no more clowning around or cloning around. Speaking of which, we have our retro pick of the month. This is from this show, a while ago. We were talking about clowns and clones. In other news, scientists have reported the first cloning of an adult mammal. No, this has nothing to do with Michael Jackson. But it is true. This is the first time that they've been able to clone a time-delayed identical twin. No, not clown. Clone. Yeah, it's very simple. What they do is they take DNA, which of course, as you know, contains the basic essential building blocks of human life. Okay, and what they do is they take that from your body, and they fuse it with the DNA of a female egg, and voila, a clone. And reachers, and teachers, and beachers, researchers is what I was trying to say.
and let's get some research on my speech pathology, that perhaps we'll get to square one. Researchers say that it raises certain ethical and philosophical questions. You know, to have clones of yourself around. Did you see the Michael Keaton movie? I don't know. Hey, well, what questions? What problems? I don't get it. Hey, don't try and light that. Don't try and light that. You can't light it. It's only a picture. It's childproof. Well, welcome to the Mark Dacey Show. Either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud. I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours that I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. Do you ever try giving ironclad lead to yourself from a three-reel billiard shot? Well, just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a bop-line game. I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket, and I call that sloth. The first big step on the road to the depth of degradation. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle, and the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinch-pack suit. And listen to some big out-of-town Jasper here to tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they sit down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil. Well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in the table, pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with the capital B, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. And all week long in River City, you'll be frittering away. Said your young men will be frittering away to their noontime, suppertime, short time too. Hit the ball in the pocket, never mind getting the dandelion screechless, passion door patches with a cheese pound of what? Never mind pumping any water to your parents, sister, or anything on Saturday night, that's trouble. You ain't lots of trouble. They can make what's the matter? What? Look, wait a minute. You can't be clown power, clone 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 power. I guess there are certain ethical questions that we have to address, and we will be addressing them as we proceed through the rest of the Mark Dacey Show, as soon as our illustrious director, Pat Marucki, who can do anything, anytime, anywhere, plays that funky music, white boy.
Right, can I take your order, please? Would you like fries with that? Mike, would you like fries with? You don't want fries? Okay. Yes. Well, that's, you know, and there was a guy in New York who I stole this idea from. I mean, the hat thing, not the clone thing, but anyway. Michael Keaton stole from me. I could steal from Michael Keaton, and we'll get back to one another sometime. Don't you hate it though when your fast food is too fast? Like, you know, like when you order, all right, you order the food at the first window, and then like by the second window they have your food, and they're like handing you the food, and you're still getting your money out, you know, and then they give you that faraway look in your eye. You go, hey, just a second. I'm still getting my wallet out. I'm still gonna get. And they look at you like that because they're already onto their next customer. They're already onto someone new. They're just saying, you're number 2 now. It's like an old girlfriend look, you know. When they're like handing you the food, because they're already they've speed dated you out, man. Your food has been too fast, and you're old hat now. Just like, get out of here. It's like the script doesn't want to leave me. Okay, well anyway. You know what's weird? You know what's weird? I'll tell you what's weird. This is what's weird. Okay, you're driving down the road. And all of a sudden, there's a sneaker in the middle of the road. Where's, you know, I mean, come on. You're driving down the street, and there's an abandoned sneaker right in the middle of the road. That's weird, right? Am I weird? That's crazy. Why is it there? Now, is there some weird secret sect kind of sneaker throwing cult out the window society that I don't know about? Am I not aware that there is said such thing maybe in the burbs? I mean, when I lived in Hoboken, there used to be, late at night we would. I wouldn't personally do that. I never did it. I never saw anybody that I know did it ever. But the kids would tie their old sneakers up, with their shoelaces in, and throw them over the telephone wires, and you wake up in the morning and there'd be a pair of sneakers, just kind of like, and by the end of the following week there'd be like a whole bunch of sneakers, and the whole town was like just covered with hanging sneakers so I'm thinking, is this like an expanding cult, or is this like an emerging interpretation? I'm waiting. I mean, it's like graffiti, because like nobody knows that you did. It's like, look, I'm gonna do this fantastic graffiti on the side of this truck that's like sitting in the parking lot here, and I'll get done with it. And it's fantastic, and nobody will know that you did it, or you won't even know that anybody's seen it. So what's the purpose? So I'm asking you, maybe there's just one person. Maybe I'm just talking to one person who's taking their shoes and placing them in the middle of the street one by one around the state, circumnavigationally, sort of. I don't know. It's like graffiti, though, isn't it? Only it gets run over, and then it's eaten by a rabbit, who turns into a fox because of the fibrocarbons that are directly proportionate to the rheostatic inversion, which is translated within the DNA of the postulism. It's a scientific wonderment, but that's why you're watching, so you can find out about these things. Oh, I was going to introduce Ellen again after all this gibberish. Anyway, I feel bad about those shoes. Sometimes I stop, and I shouldn't stop and pick up an old shoe, but I feel bad, so I pull over. I say, would you like a ride? And they jump in normally, because they can. They were on somebody's feet for so long. They know how. Anyway, Ellen is here. Ellen Macleay is my good friend, and we met a couple of years ago, I guess, Ellen, and I was so impressed by your involvement with the classical music, with your teaching, with your abilities, and then I finally got to hear you play, and it's just a real pleasure. So, do you have another piece in mind for us now?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The Chopin Etude in A flat.
Thank you very much, Chopin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. That's just, I could listen to you all day. You should have your own show, classical music show with Ellen. It'd be so great. It really is. That's just wonderful to hear you play. I really so apologize. As a semi-professional musician myself, I can understand when things aren't in tune. It drives me insane, and yet you make it just sound beautiful, and you could push through that. And so thanks. It really did sound great. Well, I hope that you're going to come back to the show from time to time and grace us with your presence. So that's just great. Chopin. It makes the show sound like we got something going.
Mark, it's always a pleasure and an honor.
Well, you're classing up the style, baby. Classical. You know what? I was going to talk about classical music, but I told that to a friend, and he said, "Well, nobody listens to the '50s stuff anymore." I was like, "Classic rock, you big dopey head." Anyway, there's no money in classical music. It's hard. It's hard to. You can't go to like a bar where I go and play, Bruce Springsteen or Sting, and or sing along with Don McClay. Don McClay? Hey! I've got all the money I need, though. If I die at 4 o'clock this afternoon, that is. My neighbor came into some money, though. He came into some money. Man, and so what he did is he decided to throw out his old refrigerator. Just throw it out. I mean, it's only 2 years old, I think. He decided to throw out his old refrigerator, so he put it out in the front, and it's basically new. It's like only 2 years old. The new one, I mean, it crawls on its belly like a snake. It gets that pizza for you, and it finds the missing sock. It finds a job for you. It is a job. Thank you, Tom Waits. But the other one was only 2 years old. But he didn't have any room for it, so he put it out on the front stoop there, and he marked it free. Free. Take this refrigerator. 2 years old. It stayed out there for like 3 or 4 days. Nobody took the refrigerator. So after like the 4th day, he put like $50, new refrigerator. Somebody stole it overnight. What is that? How does that happen? I don't know. Like new, $50. Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that. So, okay. Moving the show right along. It's segueistic, isn't it? Segueistic is the main inference there. I grabbed her firmly, but gently. I whisked her into my special room. I shut the door. She looked at me, mouth slightly open, wide-eyed, trusting. A come-hither look about her. I approached her from behind and gently reassured her. Now, just relax. I started at her feet. Red heels, waxen legs, smooth and lithe. Our pulses quickened. I drew her near and pressed her up against me, her tight curve. All the while, my hands probing up, down, in, out, hot, moist. I knew what I wanted. I knew what to say and when to say it. I turned her around and looking into her pulsing soul, said, "Okay, ma'am, you can board the plane now. Next. That's what I did. All right, so what? Okay, hey, well, I got a song I wrote. Oh, well, like every song I do on the show. So this one I wrote. This is a song for my son. day make hay with no one, then one day comes a someone. You work out in the long run, bells do chime. And so there's two forever, alone most always never. Two hearts in love's endeavor, what's yours is mine. Till little boys fly into skies of blue, leaving you all too soon, the winter moon. Little boys fly into skies of blue, leaving you all too soon, the winter moon. One day it's baby's clothes, then playing, stealing noses, then off to school he goes, still for a while. One day make three from two, one born in love so true, a duo to undo as days go by. When little boys fly into skies of blue, leaving you all too soon, the winter moon. Little boys fly into skies of blue, leaving you all too soon, the winter moon. I have a photograph here in my heart, one day in time still. When I remember then, child is father to the man. One day you let them go, all things must pass. A school bell ceases ringing, tomorrow's song is singing, a little time for breathing. Someone to find someone. There's music, girls in cars, and softball teams in bars. His friends are near and far, 10 summers shine. Then little boys fly into skies of blue, leaving you all too soon, the winter moon. Then one day comes a someone, they'll lurk out in the long run, a little one from to some familiar rhyme. Someday they'll know the facts, there's always looking back, back to the opening act, way back in time. When little boys fly into skies of blue, leaving you all too soon, the winter moon. Little boys fly into skies of blue, leaving you all too soon, the winter moon. Little boys fly into skies of blue, leaving you all too soon, the winter moon. Too soon. That's for you, Zachary. Yeah. Winter Moon. Kind of like it. Kind of like it. Okay, Winter Moon. Let's get back to this TV show. What camera am I on, anyway? Such an emotional song. It does take me away. Hey, look, I like my reality shows as much as the next guy, all right? I'm digging on my reality shows, and no problem, as much as the next guy. But I mean, really, Finding Bigfoot Okay, every show starts out and ends like this. 1, we're going into the middle of the blah, blah, blah national forest, blah, 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 blah. 2, we're talking to the folks at blah, blah, blah town, Montana. I had a Sasquatch once in my barn, and then a guy came and blah, 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 blah. 3, here we are at night. What was that? And then their eyes turn blue. And that's it. And they never find Sasquatch. Never. Every show. The show is called Finding Sasquatch. It's only people running around in some national forest at night going, what was that? Did you hear that? And the cameraman goes, yeah, I just dropped a tape. I'm sorry. They never... I need a reality show. I need a reality check. We have a sponsor. You know, we've been talking about this like for, I don't know, five shows now. Is this the 6th show? I don't even know. I'm getting overwhelmed. Number six. It's KB Design. KB Design in Belleville, New Jersey. Kevin Burbank. Google him. Kevin Burbank. He's the owner. So green, so smooth. Who knew? Yeah, professional landscaping, and he'll clean your gutters and leaders and put in your stonework and everything else. So KB Design. Call him up today, for goodness sakes, and get your lawn done. Will you? Your lawn looks like crap. But Kevin will make it look good. All right, getting back to this TV thing, okay? The new Mickey Mouse Club. Have you seen it? The new Mickey Mouse Club? Huh? Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? You haven't seen it? Well, it's all animated. So, like, none of the girls get to grow up and go into bikini movies and, you know, and work with an aging Justin Bieber. No, they can't, you know? Even if Annette Funicello did, like, inhale her own air from a balloon and die. I'm just saying that they're not going to get a chance to do that. They're all animated. What is that? We can't grow up with them. Who's the leader of the club made for you and me? You know, Cheryl, Bobby, Denise. You know, no. Now it's all animated. They're flat. It's like all these characters move around. What happened to Thomas the Tank Engine? All of a sudden, the mouths are moving. What? What is that? That takes away the whole fantastical thing about watching Thomas and his friends. It's like all the other engines, they go like this. There's Thomas. It's time to move on. I'm sorry, I'm moving my mouth. But, well, Thomas, it's time to move on down the track, isn't it? And you'd have, like, Ringo Starr or George Carlin, narrating the thing with their fake accents. It was cool. Now they're all talking, and they got, like, voiceover guys to do all the... Now I have to watch it straight. Can't... Speaking of shows... Oh, I'm doing a show. Shameless promotion. Yes, I'm doing a show. It's called The Fanny Brice Story. It's up at the Y in Wayne. The Y in Wayne. It's easy to remember, right? I'm doing George M. Cohan. I'm doing Flo Ziegfeld. And I'm doing W.C. Fields. Yes. Yeah, W.C. Fields, yes. Let me tell you why all the Indians have headdresses. All the Indians wear a headdress to keep their wig warm. Yeah, well, anyway, it's all this old-timey humor, all these old-timey songs, la, 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 and we're kicking and we're dancing, and it's fun. So if you'd like to just get into an experience of old-time vaudeville in the 20s, come and see the show. It's really great. It's this Saturday and Sunday, October, 19th, I guess? Cast of thousands at the YMCA in Wayne. Shameless self-promotion. Unless, of course, you're turning to the show for luck and wisdom, in which case you're out of luck and wisdom. However, we're going to do another retro look back. This is a group who was on the show, I guess it was like 93, 94, something like that. They were called the Amazing Incredibles. I don't think they're together anymore. It was John Kurgan, Eddie Fogarty, and friends. The other guys are going to kill me because I'm not mentioning their names. Like they're going to be watching. Like I imagine. You're still following the Mark Dacey Show? It's like 14 years ago, 20 years ago. Oh, yeah, he's got a podcast now. He might mention our name in Show 6, so be sure to watch. Anyway, John Corrigan and Ed Fogarty were good friends of mine back then, and they're going to do a song for you out of The Amazing Past, The Amazing Incredibles. Here we go.
February 23rd, my honey washed ashore. Cotton dress, soaking wet, who could ask for more? Me, she walked from side to side, I took some Dramamine. She's the baby, I'm the child, the rest is my story. It's sweet superstition, but I must make the difference tonight. She's a sweet ravioli, got a sweet holy moly, right? Ever since she came to town, I wear those baggy pants. Must admit it caught her eye, 'cause she loves to see me dance. I took her to the waterfront to buy some black coffee. Said it always makes her cry when boats go out to sea. It's sweet superstition, but I must beg to differ tonight. She's a big ravioli, gotta scream holy moly, right? Friday, Poppy Ryan begged this baby for some gravy, she would not oblige. Everybody told that boy name he needed to survive. Listen, baby, don't be lazy, everybody needs good love and look at bait and trout. He got her, she got him, just watch them swim about. It's a sweet superstition, but I must make a difference tonight. Sweet ravioli, gotta scream holy moly, alright. Want the girl to whisper, yes I do. But it seems where she comes from, they find that ballyhoo. Guess I'll put my Sunday best back on the closet shelf. Do the Texas tango all alone with someone else. It's sweet superstition, but I must beg to differ tonight. She's a sweet ravioli, gotta scream holy moly, alright. It's a sweet superstition, but I must beg to differ tonight. She's a big ravioli, gotta scream holy moly, alright.
Anyway, why aren't those guys good? Those guys are great, aren't they? The Amazing Incredibles. I don't know where they are anymore. I have to look up those guys. Google them. I know I've mentioned this before, so excuse me. Excuse me for harping on this, but BandAids. We gotta do something about this. It's a scourge. I mean, do you ever try and open up one of those in a hurry? You can't do it. It's got the tiny little strips at the top, right? Tiny little strips. You can't get your fingers in them. You know, you can't get your thing. You can't get it open. Come on, man. Like, what is the Johnson & Johnson family thinking? Like, they haven't received a letter like, please increase the size of your strips at the top so that we can easily pull them apart. Do you think they've received, like, maybe 4 billion letters to that effect? So, like, the Johnson & Johnson family, they're sitting around their mansion in, like, Somerset going, Grayson, do you think that we should maybe increase the size of the strips that pull apart on the tops of the BandAids? What do you think, Grayson? Well, Henry, I think we should go to Barbados for Christmas. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. So that's what's going on. That's why we don't have the strips, because like they're in Barbados. Here's something else bothering me. What's with manuals? Okay, you get a manual. The first page is, this is what you own. I know, I bought it. Okay. The second page is, be careful of electricity. And they have that weird, like this thing, and then there's like a lightning bolt in it. Like, be careful when you're handling electricity. Okay, yeah, great. Okay, that's great. I think I got that. That's why I bought your thing, because I know that I plug it in. And they got the dumps. Then like the rest of the manual is with stuff like, don't go swimming with this. Okay, don't go in a thunderstorm with this device. Don't plug it into your ear. And if you have any questions, see the previous page. And then you turn to page 4, and it's like, instructions on how to operate. The rheostatic inversion of the ninth dimension should be consented to the creosote portion of the linkage system. See figure on page 1724. If you do not understand any of the functionings with regards to this, see troubleshooting, page 72, or you're probably swimming with this device. Why do I need all that junk? Just tell me which buttons to push and which things to turn and how to plug it. Don't go swimming with electricity. Oh, really? They got to put that in the manual. I don't know. Finally, here's the weekly classic. Steve Martin. I'm so mad at my mother. I'm in the middle of my frappuccino. She called up the other day. She says, I'm hungry. She wants some food. I say, like, hey, I work for a living. I'm kind of busy right now. But if you want something bad enough, you gotta really want it, right? Then you gotta want something back too, right? So I sent over one of my entourage with a can of Chef Boyardee and oven stuffer meat cheese ravioli. I'm having her work it off. She's moving my barbells up to the attic. Thank you, Steve Martin. Thank you for tuning into the Mark Dacey Show this week. Pat Marucci, our illustrious director and producer. Don Macleay, camera and publicity. My thanks to my first special guest, Ellen Macleay. Thank you, Ellen. The show is dedicated today to my friend Mike DeGatti. Adios, my friends. Thanks for watching.